that's where the idea was born, and that's when I started training for it.
Now, did you seek out parkour? You know, watching like us casual watchers, you hear the parkour over and over again. Did you go to the internet and just kind of
Absolutely.
Google parkour, and then you found Charlie and Nicole?
You hit it right on the head. It's exactly what I did. I knew that I needed specific type training if I was going to be successful on the show. So the first thing I did was I Googled Rochester, or I Googled parkour in Rochester, Ninja Warrior in Rochester, a couple different terms, and lo and behold, Rochester parkour kept popping up. So I made a phone call, talked to Charlie, started actually with a couple personal lessons with him to get myself acclimated. I didn't want to embarrass myself any of the first classes that I went to, so I decided to go one-on-one with Charlie for probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 lessons, I would say, and he told me, "You're ready, it'll be more fun in class, come on." So we started taking the classes with Charlie.
Now, Charlie, did you know right from the outset that Carl had what it took to be on that show?
Definitely. He's tiny, so that makes like the longer
And
stuff
you
they
mean,
have.
you mean that in the
over-
best possible
in
way,
the best
right?
possible way. He's got an overwhelming
Thanks, Charles.
personality.
I'd say compact, I would say, is good too.
He's compact.
Yes, right.
No, he's incredibly strong. Incredibly strong for his age, and I mean,
my
she
age,
can't.
my age, Charlie, what age is that?
Oh, right. 20, 24. But his upper body strength is phenomenal, and being a smaller guy, I mean, how much do you weigh?
About 130 pounds now.
130,
Put on a couple
like, that
pounds
is-
since Ninja Warrior.
Now,
That's
do you suck weight for that a little bit, like a wrestler? Because I mean,
Not really,
I've done
no.
pull-ups 10 pounds lighter than I am right now. I can do pull-ups all day. Now I put the 10 pounds back on, I flame out at 10. You know, it makes a
Yeah.
big difference.
I don't want to say I sucked weight, no, but my diet was a lot more on point when I was training for the show rather than these past month or so since I've been off.
Now, when you sign up for American Ninja Warrior, I mean, there's a process, right? You go online. There's probably you have to submit some video. I think I saw it on the episode,
Yeah.
piece of it anyway. And we'll talk about your basement in a minute. But I mean, do they give you any advice? Is there like a competitor's packet that says, "Hey, here's some suggested tips. You should eat this. You should do this." I mean, talk about that a little
There,
bit.
when you first decide to try out, yeah, there's a video that has to be submitted, and there's about a 20-something page application that took me a lot longer than I anticipated. But yeah, the video portion, they give you some tips of basically what they want to see on the video. They want to know who you are, your backstory, that kind of stuff. I mean, it ultimately is a reality TV show first. But it's
Right.
we the guys in the community, the ninjas in the community, we don't treat it like a reality show. We treat it like the ultimate competition and the toughest obstacle course in the world, like it's touted.
Sure.
And that's kind of how we go after it. NBC spins it the way they want to spin it, which is fine as long as we get our chance to play around on that course.
Right, you tolerate all the drama bull crap to get to do what you really love.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
And
cool.
they did. They actually they spun it real nice this time. I was surprised at how much TV time I actually got because there was 125 competitors there, and a lot of them got 0 time. So the fact that they did a feature story on me was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of know, well, I guess you think you know who you're looking to do well because the network tells you. They give you like this really teased backstory. I can't remember the girl, is it the Karate Hottie? They were really touting her and she fell on the first panel.
Yeah,
She just like
yeah.
hopped, what's that obstacle called? The very
That's
first one.
they call that the Quint steps.
The quint steps. So
Five
you're
five
kinda-
steps.
And they're at 45-degree angles and you're up above a little liquid pit there, water.
Yeah, they're about 6 feet apart is the distance, and basically you go from one to the next without touching the water.
And every competitor makes it look pretty easy. There's a rare occasional one that flames out, and they probably have more than that. You just don't see them on TV. They don't make it.
That obstacle takes out a lot more people than you'd think. Believe
Really?
me. Which is why there's a couple different strategies about tackling that obstacle. And the strategy I used is called the CAT method, which is a parkour term. And it's a little safer than the tic-tac method, which is another parkour term.
Right, where they're just bounding one leg at a time.
Exactly.
You're kind of securing your position on one, steadying yourself, and then hopping over to the other.
Being this was my first time, I said that there's no way that I can fall on the first obstacle. At all costs, you get through this first obstacle, so whatever it took to do that, that's what I did. So I did the easier method, as some would say, but nobody remembers that if you don't, if you fall in the water, they don't
Sure.
care how it happened, they just know you went out on the first obstacle.
It also gets slippery with the water being there. Is that like you fall in the water,
Right.
that splashes up on the steps, and I mean,
So
you,
they don't
you could
come
see
out and
growth,
kind of
yeah.
squeegee that off after each competitor, so if
They
you're
dry
later in the
it.
round, you
Yeah,
have
they
a
dry it
disadvantage,
with
right?
they dry it with a towel, but it really is, there's some variables on the course that you'll never see on TV that the competitors definitely have to face. Sometimes it's better to go early, sometimes it's better to go late, depending on certain obstacles. You get kind of a feel for how to go through those obstacles, who's being successful doing what method versus another, and then you've got the elements, of course, of the night, because everything is formed at night. You've got condensation, water splashing up, and the whole nine. So yeah, it's harder actually than even it looks on TV
Yeah.
when you're there in person.
I think, again, we talked about with Charlie and Nicole how parkour is kind of non-competitive in a way. American Ninja Warrior definitely pulls the competitor out of you. So, I mean, how do you go from just it being fun to, hey, there's some prizes on the line, there's some recognition?
Yeah.
Is that a switch of gears in a mindset, or?
You know what, honestly, it's pretty ironic when you use the word competition, because yeah, it is a competition, but I've never been a part of a competition where the competitors are actually working together to best the course, because no one's ever beat this
I was gonna
course
say
in
that, it seems like the
6 years.
opposition is the course. You
Exactly.
guys are all like a team. Now, obviously, some are gonna do better than others, but I see a lot of the competitors coming out and rooting each other on and clapping for the other ones. It's a
the
pretty cool
The
scene.
camaraderie is incredible. It really is. I've made lifelong friends in this past year. People you meet for one or 2 days, and you feel like you've known them forever, and you create a lifelong bond. I mean, guys that I know I'll see again.
And you probably also debate like the best techniques to approach a particular,
absolutely.
Oh, sure, I bet you there's a lot of strategizing going on
And
there.
it's not just for like, oh, I'm gonna talk about this for myself. It's like let's figure out together like
Exactly.
what would the best way to approach this be, because sometimes you just don't know.
That's parkour for you, baby.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
Fitness Edge Radio on ESPN Rochester. We're talking parkour with Charlie and Nicole from Rochester Parkour and our Rochester native American Ninja Warrior, Carl Fantuzzo Jr. Did I say your last name right?
That's perfect.
Carl Fantuzzo Jr. What do we say we take a break here, come back, find out a little bit more about the actual American Ninja Warrior course?
Yeah,
'Cause
let's talk about that.
It's so cool looking on TV. You know, the harder obstacles. We'll get into all of that next. Fitness Edge Radio on ESPN Rochester.
Very cool. Now, you own liquor stores.
I do.